Hey guys, it's Sons Geek and Thunder Steve 85 back at it again with another NBA 2K video. And you guys, this is another special video that we're doing here as we're going to be talking all things my team. And I'm really excited to be doing this video with my good friend Thunder Steve 85. Steve, some people on the channel may know you, some people may not. Do you want to introduce yourself? Tell them what your channel's all about, and then we'll dive into this my team stuff, man.
Absolutely. What's up, guys? So, as Brandon said, my channel is Thunder Steve 85 Gaming over on YouTube. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, everywhere else, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, as Thunder Steve 85. My channel covers video games, do video game reviews, news, retrospectives, everything, you name it. Everything you can expect from a video game channel. So you guys can find all the links in the description box below. And please do me a favor, like this video. And as always, please subscribe.
Absolutely. Once again, you guys, all the links down below in the description. Go check out Thunder Steve 85's gaming content. Highly recommended, everybody. And Steve, before we really start diving into all the new My Team changes and really everything we're going to be going over, for the first time ever in a sports game, NBA 2K has introduced the Season Pass. And thank goodness that they uploaded a frequently asked questions FAQ. That's what we're going to be going over. And if you're watching the screen right now, they even put up some pictures and graphics and everything. So Steve, I'm going to let you handle this. Talk to me, man. Can you try to explain this to us?
Absolutely. So guys, yeah, as Brandon said, this is the first time this has ever happened. Usually things like season passes or battle passes are in other video games. You know, take something like the Marvel Avengers. That was a recent game that was very well known for charging for a battle pass for every season. So this is the first time a sports game has ever done this. It's a big deal because, well, a sports game's never really crossed that line and went into this territory.
Yep.
And with season passes, well, of course, they cost money. And so you're already buying the base game. And then on top of it, there's season passes. Last year in 2K23, there were 9 seasons. So with a season pass for each season, you could see yourself shelling out additional money 9 times over the course of NBA 2K24, which is very interesting. But you can see here, we have a nice little infographic here. And basically, if you want to be a free, no money spent player, which this is the mode this is typically what I do. I don't.
And we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah. So we have the free pass, and you would get your normal 40 rewards for my career and for my team. Then there's the pro season pass, $10 a month or $10 a season, which equates to 6 weeks.
Yeah. Pretty much a month.
And you're going to get 40 additional rewards for $10 that only you can get if you spend the additional $10. Otherwise, you're not going to get any of those rewards. And then there's the Hall of Fame for an additional $20 every season. And you're going to get everything in the Pro Pass plus 1 additional reward and an extra 15% XP boost, which is what you need in order to get to level 40 in my team and in my career. And you're going to get something new that they've never done before. You're going to get 10 level skips. Yeah. So Brandon and I were discussing this, and we're not quite sure how the level skips will work and when you can activate them.
Yep.
Because in the beginning of my team or my career, you move up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You can go from level 1 to 10 within maybe an hour sometimes. But to go from level 30 to level 40, that'll be a grind, and that will take many hours. So we were both discussing, well, can I get to, say, level 30 and then decide to activate the 10 level skips to take me to level 40? We don't know the answer to that question yet because it is not clearly defined in this FAQ. Yep. So that's going to be a wait and see approach, right, Brandon?
Yep, absolutely. And you might have already mentioned this, but that's the 10 level skips. Is that per season? Is that
That's per
correct?
season.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
per season. So
Just want to
every
make that
time
clear.
you drop that $20 for
Yeah.
every season, you'll get 10 level skips. So first time that's ever been done. Pretty cool. So guys, one thing that is brand new to my team and my career, this is the first time that ever happened, is cross progression with each mode. So essentially, as you can see here, it says in NBA 2K24, the seasonal progression track will now combine my team and my career into one linear reward system. It says players can earn a free reward from both modes each time a player reaches a new level in NBA 2K24. For example, if you decide to start your NBA 2K24 journey playing my team and then switch over to play a few games in my career, your progression to level 40 will continue across the same progression track. So essentially, if say I start off playing my team and I get to level 5 and I say, you know what, I want to go play some my career. When you go over to my career, you'll be at level 5 in my career as well. And you will get all the rewards that you would get in my career from going from level 1 to level 5. So essentially, 2K really wants you to play both game modes.
Yep. And as somebody who has played a lot of my career in the past, that's really good news for somebody like me. You know, that's going to keep me wanting to play. And again, it's, you know, we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but you pay for it, you definitely get some perks and rewards.
Yeah, so very cool. They added an FAQ here, guys, which obviously this is a big change for 2K. So it's good that they have the FAQ.
For real.
You know, how do I get the season pass? You can purchase it directly from the rewards menu.
Yep.
Do I have to get the Pro Pass or Hall of Fame to receive rewards? It says there's 80 rewards across my career and my team. The Pro Pass, however, unlocks an additional 44 premium rewards. Now, what those are going to be, we don't know.
Who
Are they
knows?
going to be
Yeah.
cards? They're
Mhm.
going to be shoes? Are they going to be courts, arenas? Is it going to be a mix of
Guess
everything?
we'll find out.
Yeah, I would presume it'll be a mix of everything because, you know, creating an additional 44 players, I don't see that happening. That's going to be an awful lot of content by the time we get to the end of the year. But still, there's going to be cards, most likely in the Pro and in the Hall of Fame pass, that you can only get if you pay for it, which will be very interesting because, in my opinion, that's going to definitely create a very clear, evident parity of if you are a no money spent free player versus if you're a pro or Hall of Fame player. So it's going to be easy to identify if I'm basically paying money in order to increase my chances of winning an NBA 2K versus saying, hey, you know what? I'm not going to spend any real money. I will take, you know, my free players, possibly my scrub squad,
Yep.
and match it up against
Hall of Fame.
a Hall of Fame or pro player who pays and has, you know, all these extra cards that I can't obtain.
Yep.
And so for me, it's exciting for me as a no money spent player because I'm like, hey, I can essentially be like, I'm the guy at the gym or at the basketball court at the park who I don't have the best shoes, I don't have the best gear, but I'm going to totally ball you up. Like I'm way better than say the pro or Hall of Fame guys who have, you know, the Nikes, the Jordans, all the accessories, the headbands, the elbow pads, all the stuff that you don't need, but they have absolutely no game whatsoever. So it's going to be fun when you know you're a no money spent player and you get matched up against some team who's essentially like a super team in comparison, and then you totally ball them up. So that's the exciting part for me as a no money spent player is that it's going to be very clear to identify that, hey, man, I didn't spend any real world money on my lineup. And you clearly spent a lot of real world money on your lineup.
And if I know you, like I think I know you, Steve, that's the type of gamer you are. And there's a lot of satisfaction that comes with that. You know, not spending so much money on the season pass, building your team, playing hard, getting those wins without paying $20 per season. That's awesome. That's what it's all about right there.
That's right. It's it's kind of another separate badge of honor, if
Yep.
you will, to be able to get wins like that. And it's very gratifying, to be perfectly
real.
honest. I get a lot of gratification out of doing that. And I already did, because we had the parity in my team in previous years, because you would be matched up against teams that are super teams all the time, right? But there was never a way to tell how players got certain cards, right? They could spend a lot of money on virtual currency and open packs, or they could just play the game a ton and get a ton of my team currency and then buy them in the auction house. You never really knew. But with this, where you're going to get specific cards now, specific players, if you get a pro or Hall of Fame pass, it's going to be easy to tell who paid and who didn't. So another interesting thing, guys, is how you're going to actually earn XP in my career, my team. And we'll kind of touch on this a little bit here. But in previous years, you had to complete agendas in order to earn XP. For instance, one of the agendas might be, hey, you got to score, or you got to make 53 pointers with Steph Curry. Not in one game, just 50 over the course of multiple games. And once you do, you get 5,000 XP.
Or you have to get like 10 rebounds and 5 blocks or something. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Like specific agendas.
Exactly.
And no longer is that the case. Now, all you have to do is play the game to get XP. And again, we'll touch on that in a little bit.
That's huge, Steve. I mean, you already know that, because it's getting the players to play the game more, and they're trying their best to reward those players for just playing and finishing games, which I know we're going to talk about that later.
That's right. So again, just touching on the FAQ, guys. How long are seasons? They're 6 weeks. New seasons always start Friday.
Right at the weekend, when everybody's, for the most part, free, able to play the game.
Do I keep the rewards you've claimed after the season ends? Yes, you always
Good
will.
Question.
Can I purchase level skips? And yes, you can. You can purchase them directly.
We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, and of course, you guys, we all have to remember that 2K is a business. So, of course, if there's a way for you to give them more money, they will find a way to make it work, right? So, of course, you can purchase level skips. The season pass will be available on all platforms. Yes, it will. This is a good question, because sometimes the Switch gets left out on things. If we look over the pond at EA Sports, you look at games like FIFA, you don't have a franchise mode in FIFA for Nintendo Switch.
Right.
And this has been the case many times with Nintendo. So good question there. Will you be able to upgrade from Pro to Hall of Fame? Again, of course you can, because that's another way for you to give 2K more money. So yes, of course. That's what it's all about for them. If I purchase the season pass after reaching level 20, do I get to redeem rewards for levels I've already completed? We've read through this earlier, and it's really not a clear answer.
Yeah, they don't really necessarily answer this right here.
Yeah, so this should
to be continued. We'll see.
Yeah. Can I purchase or earn season pass rewards from a previous season? And the answer is no. Can I keep leveling up my season pass after the season ends? No. And again, there's no reason why you would want to do that. And guys, where can I see the current season's rewards? Same place as always. It'll be on the season rewards menu. And where can I check my progression? And that's going to be in the same spot as always. So not much more there that's changed. But again, this is a huge deal to have season passes now. And it's going to be very interesting to see how everything works out.
Absolutely. So, Steve, I got a question for you, man, because I did hear a little bit about this not too long ago. And again, this is all new. This is the first time 2K has ever done this. And Steve, you know this community as well as I do. It seems like there's been a little bit of a backlash here. So I just have a question for you, man. On the surface, do you feel like this could be a big hit with 2K? or a big miss? Do you feel like it could maybe be a little bit of both? Or how would you sort of put this optimistically? Because you're an optimistic person like me. How would you kind of explain this to maybe the casual fan or maybe somebody who's not too familiar with this? Because I'm sure some people might have heard of the backlash and this has a bad look to it. How would you really break that down here?
Well, essentially, 2K is creating a tiered system, right? And you can basically pay to get more cards. The cards that you're going to get, they're saying they're premium cards. So for $10, you get 40 cards that people who don't spend additional money on the game will not get. Will they be better cards? We don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out. That's the fun.
You would imagine some of them will, because
Yeah.
that's the incentive to paying money, right?
Yep.
But that doesn't mean you can't compete.
Exactly.
And I've seen that backlash across the 2K community and saying that it's going to be that much harder to win games against people who pay money. But really, that's not the case, man. Like, you can be a no money spend player and win games.
Just like we talked about earlier. Exactly.
Yeah. And a lot of times, the people who are spending the money on the game to get the better cards aren't always the most skilled players. Like, they're actually spending money to get the better cards to make up for the skill level.
Or
I've seen
they're
this a ton.
content creators who have the money that are just like, whatever, I'll pay all
Oh,
this
yeah.
money so I can upload content. You know,
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that makes total sense.
Yep.
But I can't tell you how many times I have played a game in unlimited, right? And I'm seeing the starting lineup come out. And they got, Manute Bull, Galaxy Opal at center. They got Taco Fall playing power forward. They got Jonathan Bender, 7 foot plus, playing small forward. They got Zildrunas Avgauskas playing shooting guard
Big Zo.
in one of the out of position cards. And then they got out of position Jokic playing point guard, right? So everyone in the lineup is well over 7 feet tall, super stacked.
Cheese lineup.
Total cheese lineup. And I see it and I say, you know what? That's a challenge right there. That's going to be fun. Whatever. We'll figure it out. But when you get in a game, sometimes you're like, dude, this player's actually not that good. Like, it's clear to me that they have this lineup because they're just trying to get wins, because maybe they're just not that good and they know it, and that's okay. Like, because you can win at any of these modes. You can win with Hall of Fame, you can win with Pro, and you can win with Free. Right. But to me, I get the most gratification personally out of playing Free on the no money spent. Now, there could be a dilemma at some point. For example, Brandon and I talked about this before. What happens if one of the premium cards for $10 that you get is a Thunder Dan card?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Or like, it's a card that, like, for a player that you absolutely love. And the only way to get it is if you get the Pro Pass.
And you spent all that money and all that time, and this is your reward. That's why I wanted to talk to you about the quote backlash, or this could be a huge miss. You know what I mean? You're 100% right.
Yeah, so it could go either way, guys. I mean, bottom line for 2K, it's probably going to be a W, because a lot of people are going to get at least a Pro Pass.
Yeah.
And a lot of players, all the content creators, I got to imagine,
oh yeah,
are going to get the Hall of Fame. Even if you're a no money spent player, they might say, you know what? I'm not going to spend money on packs, but I will get a pass. And people are going to have to choose how they spend their money on 2K. Like, do I want to buy boxes of cards and packs, or do I want to get a season pass? Because I'm only going to do one.
Right.
And so they're going to have to make those rewards enticing enough for you to want to spend the money, but not so great that you say, I don't need to buy packs now. So 2K is going to have to figure out basically how to get the most amount of money out of us as possible. And it should be interesting to see how we react as a community.
Exactly. And you know what, Steve, in all fairness, man, and we were sort of talking about this earlier, I've had my criticisms with 2K over the years. I know you have as well. We all know how the community is, but in all fairness to 2K, and I really mean this, especially this is why we're kind of recording this video, man. In all fairness, man, 2K not only wants you to buy the game because, you know, it is a business, you know, yada, yada, but they want you to play the game and stay on the game and play as many game modes as possible. I mean, I love playing my career, but over the years, man, I've been playing like the My Eras mode, and maybe this season or this year I'll be playing a lot of MyTeam. We'll see. Sometimes I just play now. You know what I mean? I just play the game as much as possible, and that's what 2K wants you to do. And look, again, all criticism and all backlash aside, at least 2K is trying something here. So I see how on the surface this might look negative, but this could be really cool, especially if the person watching this video is a gamer like you who wants to, you know, pretty much play free and try to dominate as much as possible, man. So again, got to give credit where credit's due. They're trying something. You know, we'll see what next year's game looks like and all that. Maybe this is a huge W. We'll see.
I agree. And I like to see 2K innovating.
Yep.
How many times have we seen, again, we can talk about another franchise and we talk about Madden football, right?
Yep.
You barely see any sort of innovation over there. So it's good to see 2K trying something new. They're listening to the community. They're listening to the feedback that we give after each season when we fill out the community feedback forms. So this is great. I'm excited for it. It's something new. It'll be fun.
All right, Steve. So I know you wanted to talk about the 25th anniversary edition. Can you kind of break this down for us as best as
Absolutely. Possible? So guys, the 25th anniversary edition is pretty cool. One thing I will note right off the bat, it is digital only. I wish there was a physical edition coming, but there is not. So digital edition, 25th anniversary, that's the only way to get it. If you want to get the best physical edition, there is a Black Mamba edition, as you can see here. To talk about the 25th anniversary edition, guys, this is going to be pretty cool. I will mention one thing that might be of interest to you if you are a big NBA fan, is that it does come with NBA League Pass.
Yes,
12
sir.
months.
Yep.
So the anniversary edition is $149.99, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, put you on the spot here, but I believe the $149 for the game, all the extras it comes with, and NBA League Pass is less than NBA League Pass itself.
That sounds about accurate.
Which is wild.
It wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. So in my opinion, you're kind of getting like a big 2-for-1, especially if you are a hardcore NBA junkie like we are, you know, and you're willing to devote that time to watch, you know, basketball and play 2K. So in my opinion, I know that, again, this goes back to 2K and making money, but I know that seems like a lot of money, you guys, but it is worth it. You do get the perks and all that. Just saying.
In my opinion, it's totally worth it. And as you can see here, there's tons of pre-order bonuses. So just for pre-ordering, you get 5K currency, 5K MyTeam points. You get 10 promo packs, which is really cool.
Delivered one per week.
95 Kobe free agent card.
Nice.
And you get some My Career content as well. You get some additional skill boosts, which is always nice to have. Yeah. But here, if we scroll down, this is where you get into the good stuff right here. So 25th anniversary edition also includes the 12-month League Pass subscription. And you guys can see we got a ton of asterisks here. I read through it. I will say it does. You might want to read through the fine print if you're interested in getting this. I believe everyone in the United States is good to go. There are some countries where you can't get League Pass, and you probably already know about that, and nothing's changed.
Just be careful if you live outside of the United States. Just saying.
If you live in a country right now where you can't get League Pass, this won't change it.
Right.
Like, this isn't your golden ticket to get League Pass, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I wish it was.
Right.
But the interesting thing, guys, check this out. This is brand new. Again, something that's never been done. 16 level skips delivered 2 per season. What? How does this work?
Now, yeah, exactly. Like, can you explain that to us in simpler terms? I mean, you and I were going over it, but the people watching may not know.
So basically how it works, guys, is, every season, look at it like it's an RPG, right? You're grinding to 150,000 experience points, XP. To get to 150,000 experience points, you got to level up to level 40. That's how much it's going to equate to. So essentially what it's saying is 2 per season, which is 6 weeks. So for every season, we're going to give you 32 levels that you can level up your team. So I can basically go from level 1 to level 32 in an instant. That's one way to interpret it. Now, there's no other details here, so we don't really know how this is going to work. So we're speculating a little bit here, but how else would it work? The way I read it, Brandon, the way you read it, if you get 2 per season, 16 times 2, very clear, 32 levels.
Yep.
Now, does that mean I can basically go from level 1 to level 8 by playing the game, and then say, hey, you know what? I'm at level 8 now. I want to activate my 16x level skip twice.
Exactly.
Because I get 2. So I want to go from level 8 to level 40 and get the reward immediately.
Yep.
Now, is it going to work that way? We don't know.
Yeah. But you and I were talking earlier. Does it make you activate it right when you begin the MyTeam? I don't know. That's the thing. That's what we'll find out.
Exactly. So we're hoping there's some clarity provided there as we get closer to launch. But on top of that,
real quick,
yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Just real quick, deliver 2 per season. I think that's worth noting. Just had to throw that out there.
Absolutely. And then when is it going to be delivered, though?
Yeah, exactly. That's where it's like, does it start right when you do the MyTeam stuff, or can you do it later, as you mentioned? And when does the second one be delivered? We will find out. To be determined.
Exactly. So this will be interesting. That's something to keep an eye on, guys.
Yep.
So you get 100K virtual currency,
nice.
Which is really nice because then you can actually buy packs of cards in the game
instead of paying $100 or however much it costs for 100K VC.
That's right. The only time I buy packs or boxes of cards in 2K is with my free virtual currency I get from pre-ordering the game and getting the collector edition.
Which again is why it's worth it.
And and sometimes I will save that 100K virtual currency until we're in like season 3, 4, and then buy a box. So I might wait. I might save that currency for like 2, 3, 4 months until something really good comes along. So I make sure I don't spend it on, a pack of season 1 standard cards, right? Like I want to be able to have the opportunity to get something good.
Yep. Absolutely.
So on top of that, you're going to get all this stuff here. I won't go through it line by line, guys, but you're going to get a ton of stuff. You get a Sapphire Kobe, which that'll be a big deal in the beginning of the game. You get a rookie Rupee Kobe Bryant card. So you get some good stuff here.
My career stuff. Yep. I know there's a lot of my career players out there.
That's right. And again, guys, the asterisks all down here if you want to read through that.
Please read that, 2K fans. Please do it.
So then let's jump over, guys, to the main event, really. And that is the courtside report. Now, I will let you guys know that with 2K, every season, a new courtside report drops a few days before the new season starts. So first season will start, of course, when the game comes out this coming week. And then 6 weeks later, the new season will start. In the game, in the MyTeam menu, it'll always tell you how many days are left in the season. And when it gets to 24 hours, a countdown timer will start. So usually about 2 or 3 days before the new season starts, 2K will come out with a courtside report. And they will tell you what all the rewards are going to be for that next season that you can look forward to. So for me, this is one thing that I always really look forward to reading is the new courtside report. As Suns fans, I hope for Suns reward players.
And real quick, this might be a side note. Don't they especially at the start of the season or the start of the game when the game comes out, don't they normally have like patch updates in there too?
Absolutely.
If they do, yeah, I figured that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I will say with the 2K MyTeam guys, in all my years of playing MyTeam, I've never seen this many changes from one year to the next year. And on top of that, I love all the changes. It's very rare, I think, for any of us to be able to say something like that, where we say, hey, you know what? I gave my feedback on like every survey with 2K at the end of the season. And here comes the new game. I feel like they actually applied all the feedback that the community gave them. And then some more. So this will be very interesting.
Which is exactly why we were inspired to do this and talk about it and make this video, man. Exactly what you just said right there.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, I'm not going to read every single line here, but I
then
will
we'd
give
be
you
here
guys
for like
a
2 hours.
Yeah, I'll give you a summary here though. So MyTeam points and launch gem colors. So basically 2K used to have the virtual currency and the MT, right? They still have the virtual currency, but now it's called MTP. So MyTeam points. It has a new name, but it basically acts the same.
Exactly.
Launch gem colors is an important one because last year in season 1, if I recall, you could obtain pink diamonds in season 1. It's like, what? You know, like we got to work our way up there because I got all these cards in the first or second week that I played the game. Now here we are still in season 1 and we're maybe in week 4. There's already pink diamonds. Like, how's my gold player, my emerald, going to compete against these pink diamonds, right? So basically, the launch gem colors are going to start off with gold, emerald, and ruby. And I believe there's a couple of amethyst reward cards at the end. But we're going to be able to use our emerald, sapphire, ruby, gold players all throughout season 1. So that's going to be very exciting, as they're basically going to get their time to shine when they didn't last year.
Right.
So look forward to that. Now it states that with 92 and 94 overall rated diamonds being the top cards in the early part of the year. So not season, but year. So they're saying that by the time December rolls around, we're still going to be rocking 92 to 94 diamonds, which is great. So again, that just gives me confidence that 2K is going to not jump the gun and release all these crazy cards at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Because then the cards that we get, you know, in week 1, week 2, will actually have a reason to use them all the way to the end of the year.
And like, you know, people might be busy, or maybe they're picking up 2K at a later date, and maybe there's a, you know, when the actual season starts and people are talking about basketball, more people might be playing the game. You want to save that stuff for like the mid season, or maybe even at the very end of 2K24. I don't know.
That's right. I agree completely.
Mm-hmm.
So it states here that if you pick up the Black Mamba edition,
Mm-hmm.
one of the bonus items you get is a 5-player option pack, which includes your choice of amethyst, a ruby, and 3 sapphire player cards, making this one of the most powerful bonuses ever included with the game.
Awesome.
Yeah, which is really cool. So it says in season 1, you get a ruby Giannis that comes with the Pro Pass or Hall of Fame Pass. So obviously, like, if you guys play MyTeam and you know, Giannis is pretty unstoppable, kind of like how he is in the NBA. Just like in the NBA, in 2K, he's allowed to bull charge his way to the rim. But it's obviously fun to do it when you get to control him in a video game.
Yep.
So that's always a powerful card. He usually has the bully badge, which again lets you bully your way to the rim. So that'll be exciting. So a lot of good stuff here. Now we scroll down to the new player market. So this is a big headliner, guys. The auction house is gone. It's over.
No auction house.
Huge deal, because the auction house has been a staple for a very long time.
Yep.
But now we have a new player market. And it even states here the biggest foundational change for MyTeam this year is all about player cards and how you add them to your collection and sell them, all that. So this year they introduced the player market, a new market that will grant access to almost any player card available. However, season mode and other player reward cards will still only be available by earning them. So again, they mentioned that community feedback is in action here.
Yep.
In previous years, best player cards in the game were only directly available through the auction house at MyTeam prices that could feel unobtainable. And no doubt, I mean, I saw cards sell, Brandon, for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 million. MT. How?
And
you have to
maybe
grind 24 hours a day.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe there's certain players who maybe saw that and maybe were intimidated by it, or were just like, you know what, I don't want to cough up all that, MT or whatever, credit, virtual currency. I don't want to play all those games just to get this one player that costs millions,
That's
just
right.
saying. That was a good move, getting rid of the auction.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think this is awesome. This is a big deal.
Yep.
I'm excited to see how the player market is going to work.
Exactly.
But again, very, very cool that even states here, each player card will be available with transparent prices to add to your collection with either virtual currency or MyTeam points. So you can purchase them however you want to. Again, if you want to be a no money spent player, use the MyTeam points because you earn points by playing the game.
Exactly.
This is great.
Yep.
And again, it states that 2K24 is allowing you to bridge the gap through the purchasing of MyTeam points for the first time ever.
Yep.
So that is new. You can purchase MyTeam points.
Right.
Before you can only purchase currency.
Yep. Exactly.
So again, that'll be very interesting.
And then real quick, Steve, I know they got rid of this last year, but I wasn't a fan of it. Thank goodness they got rid of those contracts. You know what I mean? That just ruined MyTeam for me personally. And I'm sure I wasn't alone on that.
You weren't alone because I was right there with you. And I know so many other people were.
Yep.
And they got rid of the contracts because of community feedback.
Yep.
Because the community spoke. They spoke on Twitter. They spoke on Reddit. YouTube, you name it. They didn't like it, so they got rid of it. They actually listened to the community, which is great. Like that's what you want from a game company, right?
Absolutely.
So another thing, guys, this is new that I am very excited about is a deal of the day.
Yep.
Right? Who doesn't love deals? This gives, in my opinion, it gives players a reason to make sure they log into 2K every day, even if it's for 5 minutes.
Yep.
Because you want to see what the deal of the day is, right?
Yep.
Might be a card you really want to add to your lineup. And if you can get it for a good deal, you want to jump on that, right? So that'll be very cool. Obviously, when you log into MyTeam every day, you always get some sort of reward for your daily login. But this is just another reason to jump into 2K every single day, which, Brandon, as we know, that's what 2K wants.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I said earlier in the video. At least 2K is trying stuff, and they're trying to get you to play the game on the game as much as possible, even if it is just for 5 minutes. They probably know that.
That's right. Another thing that's cool, this is new. This is something that I always wished 2K would have. And they now have a detailed search for you to seek out players. So if I want someone, say I'm in the player market, show me the player that has the best 3-point rating. It'll show it to me now. I can sort it. You were never able to do that before. Yeah, absolutely. So this is very cool. It even says that the search includes a filter for the card's maximum salary. So if you need to add someone for your salary cap lineup, which we'll get into in a few, which is another new mode, you can do that. So super helpful right there. Of course, the grading service is back. That was another cool thing, is you were able to get cards and send them into the grading service, and 2K would grade them. Now, I don't know what they looked at, because again, these are digital cards, guys. This isn't like sending your basketball cards into to actually get graded.
Yep.
This is a little different, but at the same time, it shares some qualities with it for sure. So now in 2K24, when you send your cards out to be graded, receiving a flawless 10 will dramatically increase the sell value of your player card. So that was not the case at all last year. And then another thing with the card grading is it's no longer a one and done thing. It states you can have your card graded 2 additional times, so a total of 3 times. So if you get your card graded, maybe it's a card you really, really love, and you were hoping it would have graded better. Maybe it came back a 7 or an 8, and you're really hoping you can get a higher grade on it. You can send it back in again.
For a second opinion.
And again.
Yep,
That's
right.
Cool.
That's awesome.
It is pretty cool. Now, pack market, that's always a hot topic, right? It was a very, very hot topic. Last year was the pack odds, meaning what are the odds that I get the featured player for buying the packs?
Right.
Or what are the odds that I get a Galaxy Opal out of this or a Pink Diamond? Whatever the highest tier card was. And the odds were not good.
Yeah.
There were times where the odds were less than 2%. So less than 2% chance for you to get the best player in the card or in the pack.
Right.
So that wasn't cool. Nobody appreciated that whatsoever. And it does say that they addressed the pack odds. New releases in the pack market will not only feature improved odds for rare player cards, but the pack market will also include more options for guaranteed pulls with fan favorite pack types and more. So it sounds like they are trying to address the pack market. Now, we won't know what the odds are until the game comes out and we can actually look at the pack odds.
Yep.
But the fact that they put this in the courtside report tells me that they know it's a problem and they're trying to address it. Yep. That's all you can ask for. So one of the cool things, guys, here in my team is the budget cards, right? Everyone loves budget cards, trying to seek out which card is going to be the best budget player that nobody knows about. And they even use Patrick Ewing here as an example of a budget card. And it says the Patrick Ewing examples above show how these cards are valued on their day of release. But over time, previously released cards will have their buy and sell values decreased to better match their value at that time of the year. So it'll be really interesting because when the game first starts, right, the best cards that you can get in the player market are going to be rubies.
Right.
So since they're the best cards at that time, they should sell for the most.
Yep.
And it makes sense that, hey, here we are in season 2 now. The best cards are amethyst cards, right? So the value of that ruby is going to go down. And that is going to be present in the game now because there is no auction house. You're selling it back to 2K. So they're going to give you, it sounds like they have a system in place to give you fair value for your card. So I appreciate that. It seems like they thought of a lot of things that could be possible issues and already addressed them, right?
Yep. And something you've mentioned a few times, and I appreciate you mentioning this, is that 2K really is listening to the community as best they can. I mean, we got to remember there's probably millions of 2K players.
Yeah.
And I know this for a fact, being a content creator myself. I know I'm not really a 2K content creator, but the 2K content creators I do follow, sometimes those people do actually talk to the big heads at 2K and say, hey, my fans are saying this, my fans are saying that, we need this fix. So they really are trying to listen, and sort of like how I mentioned, at least they're trying new things, especially this focused on MyTeam, you know, just trying new things, listening to the community and saying, hey, here's what we got to offer. So yeah, good for 2K, man.
The worst thing we could ever have is the same thing every year.
Oh yeah. Because that's why I stopped playing MyTeam a long time ago, because I felt like it was the same thing every year to an extent.
To an extent, it was. So
Yep.
I'm happy to see all these good positive changes.
Oh yeah.
So we have season changes and XP.
Yep.
The next topic here. And of course, player market and MT point upgrades are the two of the three major changes to MyTeam and 2K. But the third being an overhaul to the XP system and leveling up in seasons from within MyTeam. So again, this year, all you need to do to earn XP in MyTeam is just play the game.
Yep.
Just play the different game modes. That's it. Win or lose, too. Every game you complete will get you closer to leveling up during the season. So for the first time and long overdue, MyTeam will be able to run double XP limited time events across all the modes. So this will be really cool because
Yeah.
you might log into 2K and it says, hey, if you play today between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m., you get double XP.
Yep.
For every game you play in this mode. So it might say, if you play triple threat offline, so 3-on-3 from 6 to 8, normally if you win this game, you get 250 XP. We're going to give you 500 during those 2 hours. It's like a happy hour for video games.
Pretty much.
Pretty
and again,
cool.
They're rewarding you for playing, which is great.
Exactly. So that is very cool. That's something I appreciate.
Yep.
Guys, if you've played 2K, you've probably always seen the dynamic goals tab. And you probably noticed that they really don't do anything with it. And you always wondered what it was for. Well, it sounds like they are addressing it. So what my thought was is that they had it in the game last year and the year before. They barely used it. The fact that they're mentioning it in the courtside report tells me that they're trying to make sure they use this time. And dynamic goals is just another way to earn more XP. Like, here's an example: score 20 points with our boy Gerald Green.
That's
here.
my boy right there, man. One of my all-time favorite players ever.
Love Gerald Green.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, and your reward is extra XP, right?
Nice.
So that's great.
Yep.
Again, I mentioned in the beginning, the courtside report comes out every season.
Yep.
This is one of the things you'll see in every season is 2K will lay out for you what the rewards are going to be, which is the exciting part, right? Because you want to know, hey, what's the level 40 reward?
Like, what am I actually
what am I working
for?
towards?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone's going to start off season 1 with a 90 overall LeBron free agent card.
Nice.
That's usually what we get as a free agent card to start off.
Yep.
All good. No big deal there. Really, what everyone wants to know is what are the rewards you're going to get later at the end. And so they do mention that for season 1 player reward cards that are on the free pass track, meaning you're not spending any extra money. You're
Like
going to be able
we
to
talked
add
about earlier.
Yeah, you're going to be able to add players that had competitive or inspiring connections to Kobe.
Yep.
And of course, since Kobe's a cover athlete, that makes sense. So one of the cards you can get is an Emerald KG.
It's my boy right there, man. Love KG.
Love KG.
Yep.
Emerald Jordan Clarkson.
Yep.
Who's killing it right now.
Great
in
score.
the Olympics. Sapphire Vlade Divac. Of course, Vlade was traded to
some of the younger
Hornets.
kids may not know that, but yeah, there's a connection there.
Definitely a connection there, guys. You look it up. Brandon and I we didn't know how Brad Beal was connected to Kobe.
If someone in the comments can let us know, that would be interesting because I honestly don't know.
We're interested to know, but either way, it's a Phoenix Sun player.
Yep.
So we were happy about that.
Yep.
And you get a center position amethyst, Magic Johnson, as one of the prizes.
That's great.
As well, an amethyst Phil Jackson card as your coach.
Yep.
And we'll talk about coach boost.
Oh yeah.
Soon here, because that is something totally different this year. Yep. The coach boost, the coach card, it's totally changed.
Exactly.
And so you can see here that the level 40 reward for season 1 for the free pass is Kyrie Irving.
Nice.
94 overall. So that'll be cool. Should be a good card.
Oh yeah.
Get and
a lot of hits with that.
Oh, absolutely. Now, guys, if you guys have been playing 2K for a long time, you know the love the 2K community has for Brandon Roy cards.
Yep.
So if you pick up the Pro Pass or the Hall of Fame in Season 1, reaching level 40 will earn you a special alternate artwork version of Diamond Kyrie, which is shown, I believe, this one right here on the right.
Yep.
And on top of that, additional choices for the Season 1 Hall of Fame option pack, 20K MT, 45K virtual currency, a lot of different stuff there
Nice.
that you get.
Mm-hmm.
And then level 40 states is rarely the end of your season journey. So an additional reward will be available to those who dedicate themselves to earning everything in Season 1.
Which I know you're going to try to do.
I'm going to try and do it, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So the free pass level 40 Kyrie is actually only one card and a full collection of player reward cards. So the Season 1 collection rewards those who reach level 40 earn all of the Rupee player reward cards from each mode and collect enough seasonal tokens. Keyword, guys, seasonal. So for the first time, we have seasonal tokens, meaning the tokens you earn, if you don't spend them, you lose them. They don't carry over to the next season. By the time 2K23 ended, I had over 9,000 tokens.
Putting you on the spot here, how do you feel about that? Do you think that's a good thing? Do you think that's a bad thing? Or do you think that's just what 2K has to do?
I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
Because I ended 2K23.
Yeah.
I found myself in Season 9 saying, I got nothing to spend my tokens on.
Exactly.
That I want to. I don't want any of these cards because the cards were just cards that were released in other packs, right? Like they weren't specific reward cards like they were in previous years.
Right.
So I really didn't have anything to spend my tokens on. I had almost 10,000 tokens, which is kind of an ungodly amount.
Yeah.
And so to me, the fact that they're just addressing tokens and token usage gives me the feeling that we're actually going to have useful prizes for those tokens.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah. So just the fact that they're addressing what we said is, and I think a lot of us gave the feedback that, hey, like I have all these tokens, but none of the prizes are worthwhile.
Right.
Please fix that in 2K24. So
yep.
Here we are. It's getting fixed. Thankfully.
Exactly. Yep.
So you guys can read more about it if you want to check this out. But one thing I did see, guys, is the token market's going to have some good cards this year. Like, for instance, I'm looking right at you, Amethyst, Googs, Tom Gugliotta. I will be getting that Gugliotta card, man.
Yep.
He's going to be a beast in the paint. He's going to be a rebounding machine. This is going to be a fun card.
That's
and
awesome.
I should be able to run him at small forward.
Nice.
You can almost always run Tom Gugliotta at small forward. And that is a good move, especially early on in the game. So from what I've gathered, though, if you collect all these cards, you will get this Diamond Brandon Roy.
Yep. Which, real quick, for the younger generation who may not know who Brandon Roy is, go watch some highlights on YouTube. One of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history if he would have stayed healthy. This guy was a stud, multiple-time All-Star, I believe. Great player.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. So that'll be very, very exciting. Oh, let's see. Along with the Rupee reward cards for all those modes, major changes are coming to the win rewards for each mode. So specific mini games are no longer tied to a specific game mode. And I read through this, meaning like when you win normally in Triple Threat Online, you drop the ball. And the ball drops and it'll fall into one of the slots and you get that prize.
Right.
And when you'd win and limit it, you would have a choice of like opening up this door or that door.
Yep.
And keeping the prize. So now any of these prize structures can be enabled by winning. So I might play Triple Threat Online, and if I win the game, I get to open a door.
Right.
And vice versa. So none of the prize models are exclusive to game modes like they were previously. So that's another thing that's pretty cool that'll change it up and give you the
Keeps things interesting too, you know.
It does, and it gives you an opportunity to win other prizes that you could usually only win in that game mode. So that is exciting for sure. Now, moving on to the salary cap mode, guys. This is a big one.
This is the big one right here.
This is very exciting. So they got rid of limited, which I will say I was a huge fan of limited mode.
Right.
And I'm not upset that they got rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is better to me.
Yep.
They also got rid of draft. Draft sucked. Nobody liked it. I think we can all agree. Very few people liked it. If you did, sorry.
Right.
Salary cap mode. This is going to be cool because it's going to take the best of what draft offered and limit it. And now it's in salary cap mode. So essentially how this is going to work, guys, is that it's going to be like real basketball. Like you're actually building a team here.
Right.
So if I'm playing in salary cap mode, I can't have all the best players on my team to compete against other teams, right?
Right.
Because I would be way over the salary cap. So you have to build your team, again, based on salary. So it's just like real sports.
Yeah.
So basically, you're not going to have super teams you're playing against because that would never work if you actually had to pay these players, right?
Yeah. And Steve, we were talking about this backstage. For somebody who's not as big of a MyTeam player as you are, this really intrigues me. And I'm not just saying that because we're recording this video. It's true. Like this makes me actually want to jump into MyTeam and play it because I feel like it sort of evens the playing field a little bit, keeps things fresh, interesting, and maybe in a fun way, challenging. Because again, salary cap, you are just limited to so much you can do. You got to build your roster with so much cap and everything. And it keeps they keep trying new things, man. I can't repeat that enough. And that when you first told me about that, I was like, okay. I was like, I'm listening now. This is what is interesting about MyTeam this year.
Absolutely. This is definitely, I would say, the most exciting new mode to MyTeam is the salary cap. And it really helps to maintain a level playing field across the board for everyone.
Right.
To where skill is going to prevail. You're not going to prevail because you have all the best players on your team that you paid for. You're going to prevail based on who has the most skill and will to win the game. So that's what competing is all about. All right, so guys, this salary cap mode, again, it's a new multiplayer mode. And this type of mode does have a history in MyTeam, but this is definitely like a new iteration, a new take on it. This is hopefully the perfected version of the salary cap mode. And so this is going to work in a very interesting way. So each season, it says the salary cap will be split into 3 2-week rounds. Each round comes with its own leaderboard, salary limit for lineups, and rewards. So starting off the season, the salary limit might be, say, 15 million, right? And you might get into the second week round and it might be 20 million. You might get into the third week, it might be 5. They might lower it. They can do whatever they want, right? We have to play by the rules that they set for us. So it's going to be very exciting to see how 2K decides to be creative here, because with limited mode, they were able to be creative by telling us like what gem colors we could use, right?
Right.
This is a whole different level. Strategy is going to definitely play a factor here. Your basketball knowledge is going to play a factor.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, if there's a pool of 50 players that are all getting paid the minimum salary, and all 50 of these players, and say maybe one of them's a guy like, I don't know, Tony Allen, right? And you look at his offense, you say, oh, he's not a great shooter, right? But if you know basketball, that he's going to be
on defense.
That's right. He's going to be a defensive stopper.
Long wingspan.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So if you pick him up on your team, you're going to be able to get a guy for a low price that can be a defensive stopper. Now, this does work both ways, okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because say I pick him out. This is like my budget guy, right? And then say everybody else starts doing it. Everyone else is saying, I'm
I
gonna get
want
this.
Tony Allen. I
I'm
want this
gonna get
card.
this
I want
cheap.
that card. Yep.
That's
Mhm.
right. 2K is going to see that.
Yep.
And they're going to look at that algorithm and say, hey, we got this guy, Tony Allen. We have him as a minimum player, minimum salary, but everybody's using him.
Yep.
We have to raise the salary on him. And it states right in here that they're going to actually do that.
Yep.
So it's going to be changing. It's going to be like a stock market, guys.
Yep.
Like if everyone's buying the Tony Allen stock, they're going to raise the price on Tony Allen stock, right?
Exactly.
Naturally. So it's going to be very cool. It's going to change a lot.
You know what?
The whole season.
You know what it kind of reminds me of too is like when you're on Instagram or Twitter and you see one of those, like you have $15, pick these players off like $1 budget, $2 budget. You know what I
That's
mean?
exactly
but you
what
only
it
have
reminds me of.
$15 or $20 to build a certain raw. I love it, man. That's so
funny because
cool.
I was thinking about that too. Because anytime I see those on Instagram or Twitter or Reddit,
wherever, yeah,
it's always interesting to me. And I always look at it and think, yeah, you know what? I'll play this game.
For real.
I'll drop a comment on what lineup I would use.
It's fun, man.
It is fun. But now we have it in the game and it's an actual mode.
Yep.
It's going to have leaderboards and prizes. So,
and guys, real quick, if there's a reason to play my team, in my personal opinion, this is it right here. But again, there's all these other game modes which we've gone over and are still going over, but this is a sort of a game changer in my personal opinion.
I agree. I think this is a game changer. And if this is like your first time coming to my team, or maybe you've been a my team player who plays offline only, which there's plenty of my team players out there that do that. If you're thinking about dipping your toes in the online waters and diving in here, man, this is the mode to do it in. Right here is the salary cap mode because, again, it's a level playing field. And that's going to be fun. It's all going to come down to who's actually the better player, not who has the better team. But there will be knowledge factored into it too, like we said. If you know these players and you can spot out a guy who has a low salary, but you know he's worth more, you're going to be at an advantage. So again, knowledge is going to play a factor here too. Something that's super interesting, guys, which again, Brandon and I, we talked about it. We've not seen this before, but salary cap games will be played in a brand new format, never before seen in 2K. So you're going to utilize a 2-half game setup where you will compete in the first half in a regular 6-minute period. You're going to try to build the biggest lead you can. And then at halftime, the game changes to a fixed score ending. And if this sounds familiar, it's because it is familiar. That's what they do in the All-Star game.
Yep.
Right? And that's fun, right? I mean, do you enjoy that aspect of it, Brandon?
Absolutely. Like, go back, you guys, and just look at the past couple All-Star games, just the body language in general, how intense that final quarter is, because you're trying to get to like 24 points or whatever it is. That's intense. I love how they're adding that into this mode of the game. I wonder if there'll be other game modes where they sort of add that in there. But that is, for somebody like me, that's huge. That's a good factor to add in.
This is really cool. I like it a lot. And they even said, similar to how the recent All-Star game ends, 24 points is added to the leading score at the half. And the first team to reach that target score gets the win.
That's so cool.
And from what I gather here, they actually play tested this over the summer.
Nice.
And the feedback on it was excellent. So I got to imagine the people who were play testing it were the game testers and, of course, the YouTube 2K community. So super exciting. Very much looking forward to that. Now, with that said, now that limited and draft is gone, there's going to be 2 modes that you can play online multiplayer with a full lineup. And that's going to be salary cap and unlimited. So of course, unlimited will return. That is the main mode as far as competitive 2K players go that are super competitive. They play in unlimited. And it's exactly what it sounds like, guys. It's unlimited. You run whatever lineup you want outside of the position locks. That's the only thing that you have to take into account, is that you have position locks, which is good,
Yeah.
right? Because you don't want Manute Bol playing point guard, right? Nobody wants that. So another thing that changed, guys, if you're familiar with the limited mode, every week you have to play by the limited requirements. But what's changed is how you win your championship ring every week.
Yeah.
So as mentioned, in previous years, you played the door game to seek out the ring. But in 2K24, rings will be available in new championship weekends and unlimited.
Nice.
So no opening doors for rings here.
Right.
You basically put your best lineup to the test each weekend and compete against the MyTeam community, and you have to get 4 wins in 7 games. So basically you have to win a 7-game series, right? So that's super exciting, because I was telling Brandon before, I said, man, I've played limited mode where I might get 10 wins in a row, and I open up the door and the ring is nowhere to be found every time. So it's like, I don't know how many hours I may have to allocate to NBA 2K to get my limited ring.
This gives you like a chance though, right?
It does. Because if, I mean, just going off that formula. The last time I played limited was a couple weeks ago, and I won well over 10 games and no ring came up.
So they addressed that pretty much to the best they could.
Exactly. So if I would have won the 10 games with this formula, I mean, I would have got the ring after the 4th game.
Right.
So this is great. This is going to save people a lot of time, remove a lot of guesswork about how long you're going to have to do this. Like, what's my time commitment here? So I do appreciate that 2K kind of take a look at that and is going to respect our time, especially on the weekend, because it is the weekend. And we got things we got to do, right? So very nice. I like that a lot. Last year, they introduced the Triple Threat Online Co-op mode, which allowed you to link up with 1 or 2 of your friends, join the same lobby, and you can run your team, your 3, against anybody else. And that was very fun. That was really cool. The only thing is that your friends may not always be able to play, or you may not have friends that play 2K, right? They may not play 2K. I can't tell you how many times I saw on the MyTeam Twitter group or the Reddit group posts trying to recruit people to play on their team for Triple Threat Online Co-op. And the reason why is because there's separate rewards for co-op.
Right.
So there's Triple Threat Offline, there's Triple Threat Online, and there's Triple Threat Online Co-op. Each mode has different rewards. So you had the co-op mode, and nobody was getting rewards for it because probably 5% of the MyTeam community actually played it. So now when you want to play co-op, you basically play like you'd play any other online match, and they will pair you up with teammates like they do in, you mentioned in the My Career mode, right? So that will be very cool. Now everybody will be able to play the Triple Threat Online Co-op, and you may even make some new friends out of it. Who knows? Another thing that is super cool that I'm looking forward to is quitting. I'm not talking about quitting playing NBA 2K, guys. I'm talking about
quitting.
Because I'll tell you what, like there will be times when I'm playing 2K and I could be playing for an hour online, and I may have went through 15, 20 games because everyone keeps quitting after the first quarter. And it's annoying for me because if you don't get to the end of the game, you don't get your MyTeam currency. You don't earn any points. So 2K is addressing that, thankfully. And they say right here, with MyTeam point earnings becoming more important, as well as earning round and season points in salary cap and unlimited modes, players who decide to quit early in games can find themselves temporarily restricted from multiplayer modes after multiple quits.
So, Steve, in English, that pretty much means don't quit or you will be punished for it,
Yes.
literally. And you know me, Steve, I play a lot of games. I know you play a lot of games. This is for all the rage quitters and all the people who try to cheese the game, try to cheese the system or run around the system. This is dedicated to you guys. You know what I mean? It's like play the game, finish the game, win or lose, you'll get rewarded. Just don't quit because then they'll punish you and you won't be able to play
Yeah.
online.
Guys, this is great. Like,
This is great.
there's
This is huge.
this is consequences for quitting.
Yep.
Now, let me put this in real life terms, okay? If you're at the gym playing 5-on-5, right? And you decide to just walk off the court and quit because you guys are playing to 15 and you're down by 5 points and you're going through your head saying, I don't think we
this
can,
game's over.
I don't think we can win, man. I'm
Yep,
just gonna walk out. Screw it.
Yep.
What's gonna happen? You know, they can't stop me from walking out. Well, I'll tell you what, the next time you come to the gym to play, nobody's gonna pick you up.
Yep.
So
That dude literally walked out on us
that's
when,
right.
when we were playing a game we could have won.
So that's real life consequences. That's what would happen in real life.
Yeah.
You can quit, but no one's going to pick you up next week. No one's going to pick you up the next time you show up. And here, we have consequences in game. If you quit, you're not going to be able to play anymore online.
Yep. You know, people are going to try it too. You know, there's going to be people out there that are going to try to quit. And then all of a sudden they're going to get banned, not banned, but punished for it.
Yeah. So this is very exciting that they're going to address this. I'm very happy. They even mentioned that there's too much on the line when playing multiplayer, and early quits only hurt the experience for the MyTeam community. And I will say this too, Brendan and I talked about this before backstage, is that people shouldn't quit early. Okay. Because when you do stuff like that, you never get to experience the highs of coming back from being down by a lot of points, the gratification that you get from competing. That's part of competition, is saying, you know what? I'm getting my ass kicked right now, but I'm going to find a way to win. I'm going to find a way to prevail. Or maybe you're getting your butt kicked and you say, hey, you know what? I probably don't have a chance of winning, but this guy I'm playing is really good. And I'm going to watch what he's doing. I'm going to try and figure out how to do this the next time I play somebody. That's how you learn. That's how you get better in life. Not just at video games, but in life as well. So this is cool stuff right here.
I know some people don't like moral victories in basketball or in sports, but that sounds like a moral victory. And I support that. I like that.
It is. I love moral victories. So absolutely, this is great. Another thing about playing online too, guys, this is a really fun one. Like I did not expect 2K to do this at all. So in improving the online experience, they even mentioned that sometimes your opponents can get a little bit too creative when it comes to their custom court. Guys, I have played games online where I'm the away team. So I'm in the other team's arena. I'm on their court. And the court makes your eyes bleed. They might do like a neon yellow court, and they might make the 3-point line like a soft yellow, so you can't even see the 3-point line. They make horrible courts
to try to psych you out before you're playing and during the play,
because their eyes are attuned to their court because they play on it all the time. But for you playing it for the first time,
you're like, whoa,
it is blinding. It's so 2K addressed this, which is so cool.
Good job.
Now
2K.
Turn it off. You can turn off the custom assets. So if you play against a team and you're like, dude, this court is horrible, I can't even see the 3-point line. Like it's blinding. You can turn it off.
Thank goodness. Because again, Steve, we're talking about it. One person always seems to ruin it for everybody else. This is a great way of listening to the community, defending the players who want a fair fight, if you will. And that's a good choice on 2K's part. I'm sure they got lots of complaints about that too.
They probably did, but in just talking about this right now with you, this goes hand in hand with the quitting. Because people would play. They'd see a team's court and they're like, dude, I ain't playing. Like this is stupid. Boom. I quit.
Yep.
Not because I can't beat you, not because you have a super team, but
It's
because
because I literally can't see, or it's too distracting or blinding or just ugh.
exactly.
Yeah.
So this is great.
That's
So
hand in hand with the quitting thing.
exactly. It just tells me that 2K really thought things through. They really went to the drawing board, took the feedback, and said, okay, how can we fix this?
For real.
And so they did.
Mhm.
So, guys, clutch time mode. One change has been made to clutch time. Obviously, they show a picture here. The arena's changed,
Cool looking
the
court.
venue.
Yeah, I
It
like
is
that.
very cool. I like it a
Got
lot.
the crowd in there and that big old sign above, and that's awesome, man.
This will be fun. I enjoy
Mhm.
clutch time. Now, one thing about clutch time that made it different is clutch time is basically, if you don't know about the mode, you play a 5-minute quarter. It's the fourth quarter. But what made it different is that it was a 14-second shot clock.
Shot clock. Mhm.
And so you're always running down the court. You're not really able to set up your offense. You're probably not getting the greatest shots all the time. Well, they decided to change it. Now you get a full 24-second shot clock. So every possession is
Matters.
really going to
Mhm.
count. Like if you're down in the game, you're going to have to try very hard to force a turnover because the other team's going to be able to hold the ball for essentially 9 more
Yep.
seconds, right?
Mhm.
Because you're going to have to let that ball loose at 23.
Yep.
But pretty cool. So that'll be a lot of fun. I like that change. Now, jumping into the coach boost, guys, this is brand new. This is brand new stuff right here. And they even mention here coach cards in 2K, MyTeam, are receiving a brand new way to bring the most out of your players' cards' performances. Previously, this is all the other iterations of MyTeam. Coach cards were bound by a specific system. Meaning, for instance, the last card that I had, guys, in 2K23 was a Galaxy Opal Mike D'Antoni. So there was about 6 different stats that my whole team would get an increase on. For instance, one of them was a +6 3-pointer. So if one of my guys on my team had a, an 84 3-pointer, it would now go up to a 93 pointer because Mike D'Antoni is the coach. So now they got away with that system and they're doing something else, which I think is pretty cool. So essentially, they use this Chris Finch card here as an example, and you have to trigger these boosts. So in this example here, game trigger, your team has to force 2 consecutive turnovers in the first half. So not 2 turnovers, they got to be 2 consecutive turnovers.
Mhm.
And if you do so, then in the second half, you're going to get these attribute bonuses right here. So you're going to get +2 steal, block, and on-ball defense IQ. But it'll go away if the lead changes. So if you lose the lead, then this trigger no longer takes effect.
So in other words, whether for people who've played basketball and know basketball very well, this is pretty much a momentum thing. You get back-to-back steals or consecutive steals, however you want to word it. You have that momentum. Just like if you and I were playing 2-on-2 in real life and we did that back-to-back, we would have that momentum. But really, the thing that people may not read is the bottom part right there ends if the lead changes. So you have something you're kind of working towards, and you might get rewarded for it if you execute it correctly.
That's right. And you have to hold that lead because if you don't, the momentum swings.
That might
It
be
makes
fun for
total sense.
blocks too. I'm sure there's probably going to be a blocks version of that. That'll be
Oh,
fun.
yeah. Because,
Yeah.
you have coaches for every team. We had tons of historic coaches
Oh, yeah.
last season.
Mhm.
So this will be very exciting.
That's pretty cool.
And, even an example they used, if you complete the Mamba Moments mode,
Yep.
you get an exclusive Amethyst Kobe Bryant coach card.
That's cool.
Yeah, and
I want to see
during
what that looks like too, like the picture
yeah,
of. I can't wait to see what that looks like.
I'm excited to see that as well. And so for Kobe, it says during the entire fourth quarter of a game, Coach Mamba will improve all of your players' blinders badges to at least gold, while players who already have a blinders badge will be boosted to Hall of Fame, which is huge. If you guys don't know what the blinders badge is, it's a shooting badge and it it sounds like the name. Basically, when you go to shoot, guys, if you have a defender coming this way or this way, you got blinders on, you got
Yep.
tunnel vision. You're just looking right at the hoop.
Exactly.
And those defenders won't bother you if you have those badges. So that is going to be very cool. It just means you're going to shoot and
There's going to be a
be ultra
lot of
focused.
buckets. Yep. There's going to be a lot of buckets, a lot of offense.
That's right. So that is very exciting. Getting started with the game, this is another cool thing. When you start MyTeam, you get a starter kit and you get to choose which team you want the starter kit for. So, of course, being a lifelong Suns fan, I will be choosing the Phoenix Suns. And I will get the uniform, the court, the arena, the logo,
The New
5 gold
jerseys.
New jerseys. Yeah, 5 gold players. So
Nice.
I'd be curious to see who our gold players are.
Yep.
And I will receive the team's evolution starting player card. So a card that I'll be able to evo from gold to emerald. So that'll be very exciting. I'm looking forward to definitely checking this out. That is something new that they've never done before.
Right.
And of course, going through here, they have a new way now of getting MyTeam rewards, and that's the Shattered Prize. You guys see the picture here? This is a Robert Horry card.
Boo.
And this is, yeah, as Suns fans, of course,
I had to do that.
Between throwing the towel in Danny Ainge's face and the hip check, we have many reasons to not like Robert Horry. So unfortunate that he's the prize for season 1, but I do understand why, since he has a connection with Kobe.
Yeah.
But basically, you're going to be collecting these puzzle pieces, and once you get all the puzzle pieces, you will get the card. And if you team him up with the Emerald Derek Fisher, they are a dynamic duo in the game. If you guys don't know about the dynamic duos, if you got both players on the court at the same time, they're a dynamic duo. Their stats will increase. They might get specific badges that they don't have if they're playing alone. So it gives you a reason to team up players because they play good together, obviously.
Exactly. Sort of like in real life. They play better when they're on the court at the same time.
That's right. Like Stockton and Malone. You pair those guys together, Jordan and Pippen. Many examples over the years. So that will be very
Shaq and Kobe.
Cool. Shaq and Kobe. Absolutely. So very excited for that. Now, scrolling down, guys. One thing that was very cool is the lineups.
Yep.
I thought this was pretty cool, especially for salary cap mode.
Yep.
So like if you want to find the best team you can put on the court with a given salary cap, you can do that.
And it will help you get that lineup according to their algorithm and according to them pretty much.
That's right. Like
they will do it for you if you don't want to go through all of that.
Exactly. If you don't essentially want to do a, say a research paper, but there can be a lot of research and strategy put into this. You can sink a lot of time into just figuring out what your lineup's going to be. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You just autofill.
Yep.
Or if you want the best 3-point shooters, autofill.
Which a lot of people will do that.
Yeah, or you want the tallest team.
Yeah.
Or the fastest. This will be very fun. So I'm excited to see how this all works out. Like, for instance, last year, one of the first cards in the game was a Emerald Spud Webb.
Nice.
A lot of people say, oh, yeah, it's a whatever. I mean, it's Spud Webb. He's really short. Well, if you look at his stats, I think he had like a 98 speed, 98 speed with ball, and a 98 acceleration. And I think a 98 or 9 driving dunk.
Yeah,
but the rest of his stats weren't good.
Right.
But at the beginning of the game, that's the fastest player in the game.
Yep.
So if you can get past everyone and then you have a 99 driving dunk, that's one of those players where, if you know the NBA and you have the knowledge of the players, that's someone you want to use.
Exactly.
That'll be very exciting. And again, it works for other things like, for instance, Spotlight Sim. Whenever they do Spotlight Sims in the game, say you need to use 10 Hawks players, you can do that. You can say, hey, give me the best 10 Hawks players. Give me the best 10 Lakers, best 10 Suns, whatever.
Right.
You can do that. So that is very, very cool. That's a nice addition. So guys, we're getting to the end here now. And this is where we get into probably some of the fun stuff. Here's the collector level reward cards. So this is always fun. These are the cards that you get if you collect X amount of cards. So they've always been important in my team. Last year, the rewards came as surprises with a hidden end goal. And I remember this. We didn't know what the reward card was going to be because when you go into the game's menu, it has a question mark on the pack. So you never know what you're actually working towards. Like, is this going to pay off in the end? I don't know because it's apparently a surprise. Well, not anymore. Now we know what the collector level reward is. So that's very exciting. So again, let's look forward a few months and reveal that Kobe Bryant will be the top reward in collector level. And this reward will be available in April during season 6.
Right.
When games are still being played
Oh,
that
yeah.
matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're in season 9.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. Everyone's got super teams, and that
Mhm.
card, it's going to be good, but there's other cards that'll be just as good or better.
Right.
But they're making it crystal clear that that won't be the case. So again, that's something new that 2K did. They listened to people's feedback.
More of a reason to kind of keep playing too, especially months later.
That's right.
Yeah, that's how I look at it.
The 2024 NBA Series 1 will consist of nearly 450 current NBA player cards, which is a lot, ranging from
players.
gold to sapphire. Yeah, current. So that is huge, guys.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's pretty much nearly every player.
Yeah.
Each team's collection reward will be a Rupee player reward card. So what that means is if I get every 2024 Series 1 Phoenix Suns player, I can lock them in for a Rupee Phoenix Suns reward card. What that will be, we don't know yet. We'll know when the game comes out in a few days, but we don't know yet. So that's exciting because Rupee's going to be the top tier card to begin the game. So I'm super excited for that. And then there's rewards for completing the conference. So if you get everyone in the East, you get Amethyst, Bam. If you get everyone in the West, you get Amethyst, Jamal Murray.
Nice.
Adding both of them gets you a pink diamond, Michael Malone coach card. We don't know what the boost will be.
Right. Probably something defense related, knowing him.
I gotta imagine. So that will be super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you guys can see pictured here, which is obviously very awesome, we got the Matrix.
Let's go.
Shawn Marion in his son's uniform. Not the other teams he played for.
Future Phoenix Sun Ring of Honor, Shawn Marion, long overdue, along with Amari Stoudemire.
Can't wait for that.
Right.
So, Shawn Marion will be the reward. Collecting 500 player cards in total will earn you a powerful diamond Shawn Marion reward card, along with Hall of Fame badge cards and more along the way. So this is very, very exciting, guys. They even mentioned here too, to launch the year, there will be over 50 player cards added across 3 #2K day collections. So I don't really know what this is going to be.
Just seems like they're adding more, which is might be a good thing, I assume.
Yeah, there's more content. So I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited for 2K day and whatever cards it brings and figuring out how to earn them.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, they close it out by saying that NBA 2K24's MyTeam is a paradigm shifting update to how the mode is played by new and longtime fans. The player market will empower players when adding player cards to their collection with increased MTP, MyTeam point earn rates, giving more flexibility and choice along the way just for playing games. New season XP progression and the new multiplayer salary cap mode reward players for just playing the mode or competing online through this new experience. So, and a plethora of quality of life improvements. available across the entire mode. It's just the start of what MyTeam is going to be bringing this coming week. So I am hyped. Brandon, are you hyped?
I'm hyped, man. Again, I think it all comes down to this, Steve. Obviously, we covered a lot here. You did an excellent job of simplifying all this and breaking it all down. But I think it comes down to this. Whether you're a hardcore MyTeam player like yourself, or you're just maybe a casual, you barely play it like me, this really does give everybody the opportunity and sort of a little bit of excitement and the want to play MyTeam mode, because we went over all of it. And again, you did an excellent job breaking it down. But even just, especially the salary cap mode, you know what I mean? That is really the biggest thing for me. But even just some of the little stuff, like if somebody quits, they get punished for it and you don't. And so many times you went over it, Steve. The more you play, the more rewards or prizes or virtual currency, or what was it, MTP or whatever, you get stuff. They want you on the game. That is very, out in the open. They want you playing the game. They're trying new things. Props to 2K, man. This is really exciting stuff. And again, we're getting a new 2K game. It's the 25th anniversary, Steve. That's super exciting, bro. Well
time
done.
Flies,
well
man.
done,
time
man.
flies,
Yeah,
guys.
time flies.
And, we showed it before, but
I got to full screen you. Hold on. I got to full screen you. Oh, wait. Can I? Hold on. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I can. There we go.
So guys, it all started here with AI on the cover. Back when AI was known as Allen Iverson.
For real.
AI today is artificial intelligence. A lot's changed in 25 years, right? But man, I'm telling you, this is exciting. 25 years in the making. We got the 25th anniversary edition.
And real quick, Steve, quick side note for anybody who cares. Allen Iverson is arguably my all-time favorite player. I could spend nearly 2 hours telling you why, because he was amazing. So
yep, he had definitely had a lot of heart. That's for sure, man.
Oh yeah. All right, Thunder Steve 85. Once again, excellent job. Well done breaking that all down, trying to simplify it. That was a great rundown. Steve, I know you were just as excited as I am for the 25th anniversary of NBA 2K. And refresh my memory, since we've kind of been going over a lot. When does 2K actually drop? Because I know you can get it physically like we like to do, but can't you get it digitally, if I'm correct?
That's right. And the dates are going to be slightly different because of that. So physically, you can pick up the game in store on September 8th. But if you choose to get it digitally, you can get it the night before at midnight Eastern time. So for me, here being in Arizona, I'm able to pick up the game digitally. And if you buy it digitally, you can pre-download it as well. My pre-download starts on September 5th. So I can boot up the game right at 9 p.m. on September 7th. And I will be doing that on my YouTube channel, live streaming it. Super excited.
And speaking of your YouTube channel, Steve, you mentioned it earlier in the video, but once again, where can the people find you, man? Just let the people know.
Absolutely. So you guys can find me on YouTube at Thunder Steve 85 Gaming, and you can find me everywhere else on social media as Thunder Steve 85. And again, on my channel, I cover all video games, guys. I've been playing video games pretty much my whole life since 1988, since I was 3 years old. Legit, I've been playing that long. Huge gamer, huge video game nerd, and huge basketball fan. So one thing you guys can look forward to is I will be live streaming pretty much all the time, NBA 2K24. And outside of that, you guys can find my video game news and reviews.
I love your content, Steve. Been watching as many of your videos as possible. So once again, links down below in the description. Subscribe to Thunder Steve. Subscribe to Suns Geek. I know, Steve, that we're going to be collaborating a lot more, especially during the regular season with the Phoenix Suns and everything.
Can't wait.
So excited, man. This has been a great video. And just so you guys know, if you've made it this far into the video, we have a second video dropping probably the day before 2K drops. It is our NBA 2K collection. My stuff, your stuff, all in one video. It's a great time. Can't wait for that to come out. So do me a favor, you guys. Hulk smash that like button, crush the like button, subscribe to our channels, links down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.